everyone, and thank you for tuning into TradeChat. My name is Panzer. Today I'm bringing you 5 more things that you need to know about patch 7.3. Now, I already did a video, 39 things about 7.3. If you missed that, I'll have it linked in the info below because this is some updated information, some new information. It's helpful if you've seen that, but not necessary. So, yeah, I hope that you enjoy this video, and if you do, remember to rate it thumbs up. A lot of people might not consider this to be big and groundbreaking news, but if you're in any way into transmog, you're probably excited to hear that the dressing room window is now larger, or can be scaled to be larger. It's your choice. Do with it as you will. I think the best part about all this, though, is that every class is getting their own unique backdrop. It's sort of like the ones that are used on the Armory, and when I say it's sort of like the ones used on the Armory, I mean it is the ones used on the Armory, so I hope you like the ones used on the Armory, because that's them. This actually brings me to my next point, which has nothing to do with 7.3 or this video whatsoever, but it feels like a good time to rant about it. You know how I just said that most of the backgrounds are the same as the ones on the Armory, and the ones in the Armory, a lot of them are inspired by Order Halls, but you'll notice that the Shaman one is inspired by the Throne of the Elements, and not their Order Hall, which is the damp, dank, soggy, mildew-ridden Maelstrom. Why the heck is that where my Order Hall is and not the Throne of the Elements? Because I would have much preferred the Throne of the Elements. I used to say to people, when people would ask me, they'd be like, Panzer, if you could live anywhere in World of Warcraft, where would you want to live? And I used to respond, oh my, I would love to live in Burning Crusade Nagrand. It's so beautiful, and the Throne of the Elements is there. Oh yeah, Panzer, that's a great answer. I could totally see why you'd want to live there, especially since you're a shaman. And then Blizzard put my Order Hall in the Maelstrom, and I'm not pleased about it. That's it. That's all I have to say. Plus, like, can anybody else die in their Order Hall from being stupid, or is that just shamans in the Maelstrom? Because I still walk off the edge. Not often. For all of you fishing aficionados out there, you will be pleased to know that Fisher Friend of the Isles will be back in the game in 7.3. Now, I say back in the game and not just in the game because it was briefly in the game in 7.25, but then Blizzard was all like, oh, hell no, and removed it, and people were very sad about it, and this was not a hot fix that many people liked. But never fear! It's coming back in 7.3, and this is theorized to be a way that you will be able to earn new artifact appearances for the Underlight Angler. Now, there were no new models actually data mined in 7.3, but way back in the day, we data mined these models, which are probably what we'll be getting from Fisher Friend of the Isles. Now, there are also alternate colors for the Underlight Angler, but it's more likely that it'll actually be this whole new fancy shiny model, but you know, we'll see. There are major changes to artifact knowledge coming in patch 7.3, like for instance, absolutely everybody will just be artifact knowledge level 40, and I know that there are bound to be people in the comments saying things like, well, what the heck, I worked so hard to get my artifact knowledge up to level 40, why did I even bother if they're just gonna hand it out for free? Well, skeptical commenter, notice that these people waited a whole year to get their artifact knowledge up to level 40, and you were on the ball and did it early. So the truth is, if you want to do any sort of progression, you kind of had to do it in order to play the game. And the people who will actually be benefiting from artifact knowledge level 40 instantly probably haven't been playing the game at the same level as you. So feel good about yourself. On top of the fact that all level 110 players will be automatically raised to artifact knowledge level 40 if that is applicable to them, there will also be an increase on the artifact knowledge cap, so you will be able to obtain artifact knowledge level 50. Now, this will not be done in the same way that it was done previously, so there will be no work orders, no Order Hall resource cost. Instead, it's just that every week, every player will get an additional level, so after 10 weeks, everybody will be artifact knowledge level 50. Now, I for one think this is kind of awesome because I am habitual about going really hard on an alt and then getting bored and then only doing their missions until I run out of Order Hall resources, which means that none of my alts can equip 2 legendaries. Not that it matters, because none of my alts have legendaries, because RNG is a real fickle mistress, ain't she? In my last video about 7.3, we talked a little bit about new Legion invasion points, and I made a lot of sarcastic comments about them not sounding very new, but since then, we have learned that they are in fact pretty new, and they're going to involve those lesser and greater rift keystones that were data mined in the 7.3 files. So what we find out from all of this is that the Legion is not only invading Azeroth, but they're invading other worlds as well, and Legion invasion points are going to give us as adventurers and heroes the chance to go help save other worlds from the Legion. Essentially, when you get your lesser or greater rift keystones, you will be able to queue up for a Legion invasion point that will take you to a completely different world to fight some trash and eventually a boss. So this is kind of somewhere in between a scenario and maybe like a mini Mythic Plus, because I do believe they'll be timed and competitive and people will have their EPs out and just bragging about their times and whatnot and so on and so forth. But anyways, I digress a little bit. I think one of the coolest points for me about these Legion invasion points is that the worlds are sort of themed to different things. So what we found in the data so far is blood, fire, forest, ice, island, and marsh themed Legion invasion points. I'm pretty excited about these Legion invasion points. I am looking forward to kind of exploring other worlds and getting a peek at what else is out there, and I'm wondering if any of this is going to be foreshadowing for worlds that we visit in the future. Now, number 5 actually has nothing to do with 7.3, but since we found it while data mining for 7.3, it feels relevant. I'm also giving you fair warning. This is potentially spoilery stuff for patches beyond 7.3. So are we all clear on what's going on here? If you're not trying to be spoiled for what could possibly come after patch 7.3, click away now, or maybe you'll get spoiled. I don't know. Alrighty, now that we are all on the same page, in the 7.3 data, we were able to find a new gear set called Kultiris. Now, this Kultiris gear is named in a way that is very reminiscent of gear sets that were given to us at the beginning of a new expansion, so the gear that you get leveling up in a new expansion. So it's likely that this gear is going to be for after level 110. Now, what's interesting about this is that Kultiris is a city-state that is an island off of the coast of Theramore. They used to be part of the Alliance, but they're not anymore, although there's a Proudmoore that's leading them. I'm not going to get into all of the super complex, complicated lore. The exciting part of all of this is that on the gear that we data mined, there's all these like shreds of maps with like tentacles and stuff. So a lot of people are speculating that the next expansion is going to be like a N'Zoth, Old God themed expansion. There might be Naga involved. Jaina Proudmoore is probably involved. I'm super excited about this. I have been very much on the bandwagon that something is going on with Jaina Proudmoore. I don't know if she's a Dreadlord. I don't know if she's been corrupted by an old god. I don't know what's going on with her, but she's a little out there, and I'm certainly excited to explore that situation a little bit more. And I did a whole video on N'Zoth when he was announced as a Hearthstone card way back in the day, and he is a very interesting character that we've heard a little bit about, but not enough to be fully informed. I also watched Novel's video on like what's hiding in Tearsfield Glades, and I am very excited about the possibility of an old god themed expansion, and I don't think it's reaching to say that with all the tentacles and just with everything that's involved that we're probably getting an old gods themed expansion next expansion, and I for one am pleased with this. Okay, so if you had me muted for spoilers, I won't talk about anything spoilery anymore, but yeah, I'm really excited for patch 7.3. I'm so pumped to go to Argus and to go to that questing area that we talked about in my 39 Things video that's sort of like the Timeless Isle, where you get all sorts of gear on your body. I'm always excited about that. But in general, I think the things that we keep learning about 7.3, I think it's going to be an amazing patch. I'm excited for the new raid. I'm excited for the new world bosses. There's like 8 of them. There's just so much to look forward to, and I feel like the stream of content in general in Legion has been fantastic, to the point where as a content creator it's hard to keep up with all the content, and what an amazing problem that is to have. But I would love to hear in the comment section below what you're most excited for in 7.3, or if you want to talk a little bit about the spoilery stuff we talked about, I would love to hear your speculation or your thoughts on that. But in the meantime, I am going to go. I have other stuff to do, alright? Okay, I'm a busy person. I'm kidding. I'm like gonna go eat snacks and like not wear real pants, but anyways. So yeah, that's my video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please thumb it up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and yeah, I'm gonna go. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. I still haven't gotten any better at outros. Surprise, surprise. Goodbye! What's up, y'all? It's me. It's your boy, Asmongold. That's all. That's all I have to say. You had options, and you did not choose the right option. You had one job, Blizzard! Blizzard actually has a lot of jobs. That's not a fair thing to say. You have a lot of jobs, Blizzard, and you dropped the ball on this one. I don't really know how to use YouTube anymore, so we'll see if that link ends up there or not. It's really a 50-50 chance, because I am just a pile of steaming human garbage. This seems like baby Mythic Pluses, which I guess, now that I'm saying this out loud, that's just Heroic Dungeons, isn't it? Heroic Dungeons are just baby Mythic Pluses. Anyways, I digress. What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? It's me, Boogie2988, coming at you through the magic of the internet.